Good morning, all you P4's. Today we're going to combine our knowledge of money and our knowledge of column maths or chimney sums to do some money problems. Okay, so I've written my date and title and my I can statement, and I'm going to have a look at a problem. So I'm going to start off with a simple money problem. P4B, I know you've been working on these. So 2p add 6p equals 6 add 2 or 2 add 6 is 8. And we're working with money, so it's for pence. Now today as we go through, remember 100 pennies equals £1. And we'll come back to that as we come to some of the harder examples. So these are single digits. If we've got double digits, then we can write it as a chimney sum. Still remembering to put the pence or pound signs, depending on the question. And then we work it out like a chimney sum. So 2 add 4 is 6. 1 add 1 is 2. And we get 26p. I can fill that into the original question. Chimney sums also help us if we have takeaway questions. For example, 23p, take away 12p equals, well, we write it as a chimney sum. Remembering our pence, because that's what they are. They're not elephants, they're not bananas, they're pennies. So 3 take away 2 gives us 1. 2 take away 1 gives us 1. So we end up with the answer 11 pence. Now this is called your workings out. This is always good to show a teacher, except when you're doing mental maths. When we are happy for the answer, we always want to see the workings out, because that way we can see if there's been a problem, where the problem's been. So please always show your workings out. Okay, so now I've shown you a 2-digit number. We're going to now start to look at 3 digits. Okay, so 3-digit. Now, I've written it like that because in the problems you're going to have them written like that, because this is £2 and 35p add £3 and 20p equals, when we think about our chimneys and our columns, normally we have our units, our tens, our hundreds, and our thousands. When we're dealing with money, we have our pennies, because remember 10 pennies is still pennies. You can have all the way up to, what did I say earlier, 100 pennies. Once you get to 100 pennies, you get a pound. And anything more than that is pounds. So we're going to have a look at this question now. So I have my £2.35 and I have my £3.20, and I'm going to put the pound sign. I don't need to put the penny sign as well, but just so I put the pound sign so I know there's nothing in front of it. And of course I need my addition sign, because it could be a subtraction question or it could be an addition question. So you need to make sure you are distinguishing between the two. So 5 add 0 is 5. 3 add 2 is 5. 2 add 3 is 5. And we carry that dot down. That distinguishes between pounds and pennies. We could write 555 pennies, but with that dot it allows us to write the pound instead. So we end up with £5.55 as our answer. Let's have a look at another addition. Okay, another example of using our pounds and pennies again, and an addition. This time I've raided the bank and I've got quite a bit of money. I've got £6.56 and Miss Duncan has got £4.23. We need to work out how much we've got altogether. So again, I'm going to write it in my chimneys. I'm going to write it in my columns. So 6.56, £6. Remember, we need that pound sign to remind us it's a pound, not an elephant. And this isn't ice cream, it's money, so we need our pound or our pennies. If we didn't have hundreds, we could just put pennies. We would just put our P at the end. But because we're into the hundreds column, we put our pound sign instead. We're doing an addition. We do our big equal sign underneath. And then we work it out. 6 add 3 is 9. 5 add 2 is 7. 6 add 4 is 10. Well, we write it just the same as we would a normal column addition or chimney sum. We would write our 0 and we would carry our 1. Now some of you write it at the top, some of you write it at the bottom. That's fine. Well, there's nothing here because these are just symbols, so that there's nothing here to add it to. So we bring that 1 straight down and then we put our pound sign at the end. And we make sure that that dot stays in line. So the answer to the question is £10.79. Okay, let's try some takeaways. Now with the smaller takeaways, for example, 6p take away 2p, you can draw the coins and then cross them out. But when you get to the bigger numbers, like 23, well, you might draw the 20 pence coin. And then 3 little ones, or the 2 and the 1. But then depending on what you've got to take away, you'll have to work out which ones to cross out. But you can still do it like that, if that's the way that works for you. Okay, takeaways is what I said we'd do now. So let's have a look at some takeaways. Some of the larger takeaways. Okay, so £2.32, take away £1.30. There's a takeaway. And our big equal sign. So 2 take away 0. Remember, this is what we have. This is what we're taking away. So 2 take away 0 gives us still 2 left. 3 take away 3 gives us 0. We carry that dot down, distinguishing between the pounds and the pennies, remember. 2 take away 1 gives us 1 left over. And we're into the hundreds, so we need our pound sign. So we end up with £1 and 2 pence. Okay, let's have a go at another one. Okay, this question is £1. Just knock the camera. Okay, this question is £1.65. Take away 42p. So this one's not into the hundreds, so it's not into the pounds. So when we write it, if we're writing it as a chimney sum, we need to be careful, just as we normally do with chimney sums, that they all line up in the units. Shouldn't have any gaps against the unit side, or in this case, the penny side. And then we work it out. Oh, it's a takeaway. So 5 take away 2 gives us 3. 6 take away 4 gives us 2. 1 take away nothing gives us 1. Now, we're into the hundreds, which means we have to write our pound sign, not our pennies. You can write both if you're not sure, but if you're into the hundreds column, you write the pound sign. Unless the question asks you how many pennies. If it asks you how many pennies, then you would write it as 123 pennies. But if we're writing it as a pound, we put the dot and we put the pound sign. Okay, this time it's still a mixed sized question, but both questions are both bits of information are in the pounds. So we have £56.22 and we have £3.42. Now you'll notice that I've left my pound there, because if I put my pound underneath the 5, it's going to get very confusing. It's going to look a little messy. So I prefer to put mine all the way over here. Then I'm going to put my add sign even further out and then do my equal signs. So 2 add 2 is 4. 2 add 4 is 6. 6 add 3 is 9. 5 add nothing is 5. And I'm going to carry that dot down because I'm into the pounds. I'm going to put my pound sign. So my answer is £59.64. So £59.64 pence. So have a go. Remember, I want to see pounds, I want to see pennies, because they're not elephants, they're not bananas, you're dealing with money. Remember also, if you're doing it as a chimney sum or a column addition or column subtraction, that your units should always line up and you always start from this end. Okay?